Are you still not wearing sunscreen in 2023? We're gonna fix that. Before summer started, I have oily combination skin. If you can't tell already, you can literally see a reflection on my forehead right now. I wanted to find sunscreen that wasn't ashy, wasn't oily and greasy, because I feel like a lot of sunscreens want to give you that like finished, like nice glow. But personally for me, I don't want to be looking like a glazed donut. I don't mind glowy products in the winter time. I'm looking in front of me right now, and these are pretty much all the sunscreens that I've tried and I have lying around. And I feel like the most basic one, which doesn't really have anything to do with my like skin necessarily, is this is actually like the Aquaphor Repair and Protect Broad Spectrum SPF 30. Lip SPF is something I feel like is very like, you know, forgotten about. But I will say the one thing about lip SPF is that it can have a taste, which I can't stand. Like, you know what I'm talking about? If you ever tried lip SPF before, like it just has like a taste. And so when I apply this, I literally apply it, y'all gonna laugh at me, and then I only apply it at the top of my lip. I know, it's like at the top right here. Like right here, I don't try to bring it in right here. I just focus it more on the outer part, which is where it gets the most sun anyway. The best sunscreen is the sunscreen that you'll be wearing every single day without thinking about it and without it feeling like it's a chore, it's a burden. Because I know sometimes it's like, oh, do I really have to put on sunscreen? Yes. I guess I'll just start with like my favorites. Like this sunscreen right here. I'm just gonna stay calm, okay? I remember when I first tried it, I was like, why does this smell like Nivea? And then my dumb self was like, Brenda, it literally says Nivea right here. But this sunscreen is so good. It's a super water gel. Let me go back a little bit. Pretty much wanted a sunscreen. Like when it dried down, it just was like not matte, but just like a regular lotion. All these sunscreens here kind of had that finish where it just feels like you put it on and you're done with it. It's not gonna be sliding off. That was my main criteria for the sunscreen, was that it did not have that greasy, sleeky feeling. It was just kind of like, all right, it feels like, you know, it's a gel preferably, which I realize I'm pretty much leaning towards that always. And it doesn't have like a terrible greasy feel. And this sunscreen right here, oh my gosh, like, so I've been going to Solvana. I think Solvana is the website. Javon, I think, and he was saying that people kind of get scammed when it comes to getting sunscreen from Amazon, like the Korean sunscreens and things like that. So I was like, I'm not trying to get scammed. I found that most of the sunscreen for what I was looking for were primarily from like Korea. I was like, you know what? I want to try Asian sunscreen. So there are like two kind of sunscreens. There's like physical sunscreen, and then there's like mineral, aka physical versus like chemical sunscreen. I feel like the physical sunscreens just tend to have, which zinc is great. However, zinc itself as a property, as like whatever you call it, it's very white, and that's what gives you that white cast. Unless I'm wearing makeup on top, that's not a problem. But if I'm not wearing makeup on top, I'm just putting on sunscreen, I'm done for the day. Like right now, I don't really want that. So I was just leaning more towards mineral / chemical sunscreen, because I don't know, it's fine, it is what it is, and I'm not out here looking like the Ashy Twins from the Proud Family. I'm just not. So this one right here is just really, really good. And when I tell y'all, so this is like a little bit just so I can demonstrate it, but it just feels so like, I mean, like look at that. Like it's so nice, and it's not white, obviously. None of these sunscreens have a cast, because I would not be making this video, but it's just like super hydrating, and it dries down. And I'm gonna show you once it dries down. It's just like, it's like a lotion. Like literally I'm putting this on, and it just so happens to have that SPF protection, if you know what I'm talking about. This is my hand. See that? Nothing there, nothing there. This favorite, I can see myself repurchasing this. Like 12 out of 10. I love this. It's so hydrating. It feels really nice. I use 2 full pumps of this to get like the whole SPF coverage. It goes onto my neck and my ears. Second in running is this Hyaluronic water gel. Super, super nice. I'm pretty much done with this. Like it's just like so freaking nice. And once again, it's that gel consistency, but this one's actually, let me see if I can show y'all. So this is what it looks like when you, right here. I mean, that was like a little bit, but I'm just gonna rub it in for y'all. Rub it in. So this one, it, you know, just let it rub. I'm mixing sunscreens though, so hopefully this does not mess with the product itself. But we're just gonna be rubbing and then literally gone. Like this one is also really, really nice, and they have it in a stick. And this right here is so good. I'm like, did y'all put crack in this? Like, oop, okay. like literally just fell. But so it's a stick, and I love reapplying sunscreen. Please reapply your sunscreen if you are able to. It's like a teardrop, which is really, really good. So you can get under your eye if you need to. So I actually love applying this. Like literally I'm putting it on and it's nothing. Nothing is showing up, and I rub it in like nothing. So I feel like this right here, when it comes to reapplying my sunscreen, 10 out of 10, 11 out of 10, like these, oh my gosh. Like I rarely rave about products. When I do, I love a product, I'm just gonna keep going back to it. And this is actually like my second, third bottle, I think, of this summer. And gonna go between multiple sunscreens at the same time, but really, really nice. I freaking love, kind of like in between, you know, it's good, but it's not as good as the Hyaluronic one. And this is the Aqua Sun SPF. I don't think there's anything wrong with this one. I just wasn't necessarily like pushing towards, like it wasn't something I was grabbing, right? Because like I said, the best sunscreen is the one that you're reaching for constantly. And this one is, there's nothing wrong with this. It doesn't really have a cast or anything. This definitely has a scent, and I don't know how to describe it. And most of these don't really have a scent. So I'm trying to see if the Hyaluronic one, yeah, it doesn't have a scent. And Nivea, the Nivea one, if you know any Nivea lotion, that's what it smells like, which is kind of like unscented. And this is the Aqua Sun one. And we're just gonna be rubbing that in. And this one is one, when I first bought it, I was like, why is it giving Ashy Twins? Like, it was giving, you see how it's like the blue a little bit's coming through, but you just gotta rub it in a little bit longer. And not like long, like, you know, when you're physically trying to rub in a physical sunscreen and you're just hoping and praying you don't end up looking blue. But this one just like, it just takes a little bit more work, but nothing too crazy, and voila. It's a good sunscreen. The first two that I just showed you are my go-to that I would usually reach for. But I can see myself, you know, finishing this one. But this is fine. It's a good sunscreen. It does a job. Nothing too crazy about it. I'll probably give it an 8 out of 10. It's just not something that I really like reach for. These, like, they don't feel sticky. Like, I'm done with this. Like, none of them really feel sticky. There's no really weird feeling. Like, you put on your sunscreen, you're done for the day. That's pretty much it on like my faves that I've been going for, like, you know, on a scale of like to 10. I rarely ever like have like crazy reactions to stuff, but this right here, I was like, what the heck? And I'm over here trying to read the ingredient list to figure out what is in this, and it's all not in English. Like, this right here was probably in the negatives. Okay, I didn't do well in math, but this right here was probably like in the negatives for me. When it, I don't know, -1 out of 10. I don't know if that works in math language. I've seen people love this, like posted it before, but the Biore UV Watery Essence, this smelled like straight up rubbing alcohol. Check it out. So this is what it looks like. Right? So you take it out and we're gonna rub it in, and it doesn't, so this is what it's looking like. This is what consistency's looking like. It's a little bit green, but you can't really tell just because of lighting right now. But we're just gonna rub it in, and it's like, you know, not a crazy consistency. As you can see, we're rubbing it in. It's fine. Like, all they need to do is just figure out the reason why it smells like a rubbing alcohol, and I think all will be okay. Yeah, like you're rubbing it, and then all of a sudden it's like it hits the air and it just smells like rubbing alcohol. Maybe I'll put this on my body. Yeah, I'll use it on my body, but not on my face. I think the rubbing alcohol smell pretty much goes away now that I think, like, it goes away, but you know, I feel like if it smells like rubbing alcohol, there's rubbing alcohol in it. I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, this was just like in the negatives for me. Maybe I'll try it again in the future. Maybe I'll use it on my body because SPF, and I don't want this to go to waste. Maybe I'll give it to my sister. She's interested, but this was not it for me. Last but not least, I guess kind of are more like my body sunscreens and kids sunscreen, because they are waterproof and they long lasting, and think about what kids be doing. I mean, it's gonna last a long time. I've been using this Copper Tone Kids 50, stays on strong even in water, and I have not been to the beach yet, which is crazy now that I'm thinking about it out loud. Would like to go to the beach. If anybody want to invite me to the beach in New York here, please let me know. I love the glow that SPF sprays give you, and I freaking love it. Like, literally the fact that, and my favorite thing too is to spray this on my feet. Yes, on my feet, and it's like ashiness wear, right? So when I'm wearing sandals, I just spray on my feet. It gets rid of the ashiness, and I'm sun protected. I mean, come on now. I don't have any crazy reviews about this. It's just a really good SPF. It came in a bulk, you know, it's BJ's. If you don't know what BJ's is, it's kind of like a Costco, it's kind of like a Sam's, like those whole club things. And so I've just been using this, and this should last me the whole summer. So I have it on my body right now. I've been wearing it for about 5 hours now. So if you see a little bit of a glow, it's because of that, but also I've been laying on the couch. So maybe the couch is soaking up by now, but yeah, so it's a really good, nothing too crazy. It gets the job done. This one is kind of like positive, but not, and also kind of like negative-ish. It's the Black Girl Sunscreen. This is the kids one. A lot of people say to try the kids one if you can't really do the adult one. This burns my eye. And I forgot to mention, that's also one thing I look for in a sunscreen, is one that doesn't burn my eye, because a lot of like chemical mineral sunscreens tend to burn your eye a little bit. And I wouldn't say I'm like super sensitive to that, but I do feel it in my eyeballs. And this right here does, like, the Black Girl sunscreens don't really work for me personally. I've been using this one for my body. It works really well. So I feel like if you have a sunscreen that your eye is not working well with, just use it on your body. So I've been using this one. It gets the job done. I don't really use it as much. I feel like my sister probably does, but I just wanted to share, like, the Black Girl sunscreen is a good sunscreen. It just doesn't really work for me, like for my eyeballs. Like I'm really sensitive to that. And speaking of like eyeballs, I do want to note, just to be quite transparent with y'all, I do love the Nivea one, but I've realized, like, if I do put this on a little bit too closely, because you are supposed to put sunscreen around your eyes and stuff like that, if I really, like, it does sometimes irritate my eyes, just to be quite transparent with you. But I love this too much for me to just be like, whatever. That is the end of all my sunscreen debacle and the sunscreens that I've tried and I've loved. And I hope this was super, super helpful for you if you have oily combination skin, or you just have regular skin, or if you're just looking to try something new. I do want to know that Solvana, if that's the way you pronounce it, they can take a while. I've heard through the grapevine, like on TikTok and things like that, that they can take like 3 weeks. Mine takes about, I would say 10 business days to get to me, at least the past 2 orders that I've done. So I haven't had any questions, any issues, but I've heard that some people say that it takes them like, I've heard one like months. I'm like, I don't know what's going on, but I haven't had that issue. So let me know, what is your favorite kind of sunscreen? I want to know, what is your favorite kind of sunscreen to go to for the face and the body? And do you use sunscreen on your lips? Do you use lip SPF? I really want to know, because I feel like that's so, like, it's not like a crazy niche thing, but like, I don't meet that many people who use SPF on their lip. If you like this video, you found this helpful, please be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. I will see you later. Bye.